It's another day that ends in Y, so it's another opportunity for James Gunn to lie about Superman, because honestly, man, what are we, like a month away from its debut? July 11th is, in fact, just around the corner, but there's still enough wiggle room, okay? Like, we've heard of a multitude of projects that, all the way up to, and then in the case of Superman, or I'm sorry, not Superman, but Spider-Man No Way Home, even after hitting theaters, like, this stuff gets worked on all the way up to release. So yeah, here we are a month out, and James Gunn is posting our last visual effect shot was finished and dropped into Superman. We are now 100% done, thanks to all my collaborators. It has been a joy, and for the rest of you, I can't wait for you to see the movie July 11th. And you know what? That's all fantastic, except for the fact that, yeah, you're promoting Superman, and who's front and center? James Gunn. Who's off to the side? Superman. Yeah, Gary Beekler, Nerdrotic's anointment of this movie as Superman's James Gunn has always been appropriate, and it is so emblematic by every time that we see something in regards to this movie. It's Superman off to the side, and it's James Gunn front and center always. I don't know, man. Like, I want this movie to be good, but everything that I hear about it leads me to believe that it won't be, up to and including him just simply lying. It's like, this movie's still going to get worked on, okay? Because it's at least going to get test screened again, and there's probably going to be a couple of tweaks that are out there. Maybe it's not going to be reshot anymore. That's totally fine, but you're still going to need, and I'm sure that there's probably still some CGI touch-ups that are going to be needed, especially for something so heavy on effects like Superman is going to be, that yeah, it's still going to be getting work done. Don't try to say that you're 100% done. You might be 100% done when it comes to cameras rolling, but when it comes to people punching away and working away in the CGI mines, like, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing still isn't being worked on all the way up until July 10th, for Christ's sakes, okay? All you need to do is just simply worry about how people are actually going to receive this, because the marketing, I think we can all agree, has been pretty goddamn poor. Even if you've liked or tolerated some of those trailers, I have not been a fan. I would consider them both, if I was to rate them, I would say both of them have been a 3. Like, they haven't been offensively bad, but they have been nothing approximating good, and I haven't been enthusiastic or really motivated to go watch the film off of them. And in fact, I hated most of them, okay? Which is why I'd say this, ooh, God, actually, ooh, now that I think about it more, because, yeah, you had that cringe Fortress of Solitude scene come out in between the first teaser, which was probably the best, and then the trailer, yeah, that kicked off with the counseling scene, where it's like, oh God, all of that shit sucks. But yeah, on top of the rumors, the leaks that we have seen from Reddit, I mean, I want it to be good. I really want this to be good. It's just, like I said, man, the more we hear about it, the less enthusiastic I am about it, okay? The new Superman ditches patriotism for politics under James Gunn. Oh, no, this is supposed to be uplifting because James Gunn has a dog and he likes dogs, and James Gunn's dad's birthday is July 11th. That's why they're releasing it on this day. And, oh, James Gunn was canceled, so that's why you have intergalactic monkeys punching away on typewriters. Fucking kill me. But yes, Superman's classic catchphrase, truth, justice, and the American way, will in fact not be in the movie, according to a recent test screening. That is, of course, not representative of the final product, because, oh right, no, actually, I got to revise that, because James says that it's 100% done, right? And what comes as no surprise, James Gunn's Superman ditches the classic and traditional motto of the Man of Steel, replacing the American way with a more politically correct, the human way. Yo, that shit clunks harder than Kryptonian anal beads. The phrase truth, justice, and the American way was first popularized during the 1940s in the Adventures of Superman radio show. Yes, it became iconic in the 50s with the Superman TV series starring George Reeves. Is a long time been associated with the Man of Steel. However, similar to Gunn, Bryan Singer also dropped the line in the 2006 Superman Returns movie. Does anybody remember anything from that shit? But anyways, the official Superman movie merchandise featuring David Corenswet, which I guess this is less cringe than a Funko Pop, but God, what the hell are we doing? That's kind of trash, but whatever. Official Superman merchandise, features the description on the box that replaces the American way with the human way. Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as reporter Clark Kent. As the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way, he soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned Nobody would, oh my God, like that's just such a clunky line, okay? Because even as anachronistic, and I'm not totally going to be against it if they don't include this. Like I've heard way too many people pick apart, oh, the suit looks stupid. Oh, it's all creased. I don't like the lines. The cape is silly. And yeah, I don't think it's the best. It's not even close to being the best on-screen Superman costume, but just tell a good story, have good characters. I don't know. Is that too much to ask? Because the whole visual shit, okay, Superman fighting a kaiju, bro, that's not going to get my ass into the theater. I'm going to need to have a good relationship between Clark and Lois. I'm going to need to have a compelling Lex Luthor. I don't care what the pixels on the screen do. Just give me a good movie with good characters. Is that too much? So yeah, all the superficial and ancillary kvetching that I've been hearing has just put me off of this about as much as James Gunn has, because he's such a fucking liar, dude. Hollywood Reporter pushes back on James Gunn budget claims for Superman. Costing could be as much as $400 million. Because, yeah, I think we glossed over this last time we talked about Superman, but yeah, James has been saying, oh no, those official tax returns from the state of Ohio, yeah, they're just lying, okay? Like, this, that's nowhere near, okay? That's not anywhere close to what we spent on this movie. It's like, more or less, shut up. I'm on Threads. It's like, okay, cool. For months, James Gunn has publicly pushed back on just about any report that claims misrepresent his upcoming Superman reboot. But now, one of the industry's biggest trades is calling his bluff on the Superman budget claims, which, on top of the whole interesting rumors that we have been hearing about, you know, other creatives potentially working with DC ahead of James Gunn, I just find both the rumors and the trades having a bone to pick with James Gunn. All of this is very interesting timing, don't you think? Especially with Warner Brothers really needing this to be a hit and it looking like it might not be a hit, but early projections are awfully good. It's just, it's all unique timing. Okay, I just say that. It's unique. A new investigation from the Hollywood Reporter appears to directly refute Gunn's prior comments about the film's production costs, suggesting that the budget for Superman may be far higher than what the studio wants to admit. In fact, according to THR, the film's gross budget could be as high as $363.8 million, with marketing expected to push the total cost, into the $400 million range. I mean, like, it's going to be well in excess of that, and I wouldn't be surprised if this thing was like $150 million to market. I could imagine in the next month we are going to see full court press Superman everywhere. Like, this stuff is, it's going to be unavoidable. People are going to know the Superman movie is going to be coming out July 11th. Like, this is going to be unavoidable for the next few weeks. You bet your ass. Yes, last year, documents filed by the Superman production team with the Ohio state government listed the gross budget as $363.8 million, a figure submitted in order to secure tax incentives. So yeah, those are official state-level documents. I mean, like, if anything's false on that, you can get charged with tax fraud. So, I mean, I would believe those instead of the word of a perpetual liar, but all right. When that number was reported in the press, James Gunn fired back online in his usual way. How in the world do they think they know what our budget is? Okay. He offered no alternative figure at the time, instead framing the report as misinformed. But since then, DC has alluded to a $225 million net budget factoring in tax breaks and incentives. Oh, okay, cool. So with your tax credits, when it's all said and done, you got a few dollars knocked off. But how much money did you spend, though? That's what's important. But the Hollywood Reporter is standing by the original number, backed by state records and industry sources. The outlet reports $363.8 million. Gross, a figure was submitted by the production itself in official filings. A longtime film financier cited the article, also told THR the figure isn't incorrect. Oh yeah, there you go. Total cost could surpass $400 million. Preparing to spend as much as $200 million on global marketing. Yeah, for comparison, the most major summer blockbusters typically land around $150 million in promotional spending, but this is Superman, and this is also an incredibly desperate Warner Brothers, which is also very interesting because this is another reason, in case you needed another, to go ahead and not believe James Gunn and doubt his credibility, as he has denied Superman's runtime cut rumors. I know we talked about this in the 25 minutes that just went out into the ether, seemingly removing a lot of the James Gunn isms that were present that have ruined the tone of certain test screenings. But okay, so he can deny that. Warner Brothers, and and he says that the studio has no power to cut down a DC Studios films. Okay, cool. So they're not in control of the films that they make. Can you stop lying for like 1 second? This is the type of guy that if he tweeted out beautiful sunny skies on this bright sunny morning, I would have to go ahead and look out my window to see if the sun has in fact risen. I don't believe him. I don't believe him at all. James Gunn is setting the record straight on recent rumors that large-scale cuts were made to the runtime of Superman, following a recent rumor shared first by the World of Real that Warner Brothers may have intervened in the final cut to his upcoming Superman reboot. The filmmaker and co-head of DC Studios took to Threads to directly address rumors. When asked by a Threads user if the reported runtime of 2 hours and 9 minutes was accurate, Gunn confirmed it. Yeah, of course, because what was it, AMC or something like that? Yeah, that's one of the many theatrical posts that I've seen out there that said that 209 is in fact the runtime, inclusive of credits and post credits. The runtime is 2 hours 9 minutes. It lines up with earlier reports about the final versions of the film. Any truth about Warner Brothers forcing you to make it shorter? Okay, zero truth to that, and they couldn't, even if that was something that they wanted to do. It's a DC Studios film. And who owns DC Studios, James? Just wondering on that one. While Gunn's response appears to shut down the rumor mill, it also raised eyebrows over the claim that Warner Brothers Discovery, couldn't intervene even if they wanted to. And I don't believe you on that, okay? Mostly because I think if this movie does not make $1 billion, if it isn't in the top 3 of highest grossing movies of the year, Warner Brothers is going to be fucking meddling in the DCEU very, very shortly. If you don't have a record-breaking opening weekend, they will very much be asking questions and looking for input, because like we seen earlier this week with other rumors getting dispelled that, oh no, Michael Bay was never in contact for a Henry Cavill-led solo Superman film. I mean, I don't know about that. You also have other creators that are out there giving their opinions about what they think makes for a good Superman film, what would make for a good DCU. I mean, a lot of this stuff has very interesting timing. Mission Impossible series director Christopher McQuarrie shares ideas from his epic Superman pitch, including Green Lantern involvement. And again, I find this to be very interesting because Christopher McQuarrie, Tom Cruise's right-hand man, and Tom Cruise is about to step into a long-term partnership with Warner Brothers. I find this very interesting timing. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning director Christopher McQuarrie shared more about his Abandoned Man of Steel 2 pitch, went on the road promoting his latest collaboration with Tom Cruise. Speaking with Josh Horowitz on these Happy, Sad, Confused podcasts, McQuarrie didn't reveal much. He laid out a few abstract ideas he had for the tone and the beginning of his movie, swearing it would have been epic, and tapped into Superman's fears. The first 5 minutes of my Superman movie, imagine Pixar's Up sequence with no dialogue, after which you knew exactly what made Superman tick, and exactly what Superman was most afraid of. It would have been epic. The scale of the movie would have been absolutely extraordinary. Okay, take your word for it. McQuarrie added, would have captured the hero's sense of hope while recognizing what Richard Donner did that remains unmatched, but without rehashing the late director's vision. I don't think you need to live in the shadow of Donner's Superman. I don't think you need to live in the shadow of John Williams' score, but you do need to recognize that that movie captured it better than any other, the heart of the character. Superman's greatest obstacle is himself. That's true. Followed potentially by Green Lantern. Okay, fair enough. This comment opens up another aspect of McQuarrie's talks with Warner Brothers to direct a DC movie. Initially, he approached with Green Lantern, a character that was in limbo after Ryan Reynolds and GoldenEye director Martin Campbell failed to get Hal over with the movie audiences. Oh, yeah, probably because, Green Lantern is really awesome and Ryan Reynolds can only do Van Wilder. Anyways, he admitted that the ring slinger is hard to write about because of his power level, which is occasionally comparable to Superman. Well, yeah, but in the hands of a competent creative, Green Lantern is fucking awesome, okay? Lantern's the tough one. The power is very challenging, and I cracked it. It was fun watching him learn how to use that power and giving that power a flaw. So that it was not pure invincibility, he said. Yeah, because it's, when it's simply power to or I'm sorry, Green Lantern is tied to willpower and imagination, I mean, he becomes pretty OP pretty goddamn quickly. But yes, McQuarrie thinks his vision of Superman could still be made by someone willing, as the material is still there for the reaping. It's all right there, guys. It's all right there, just sitting there waiting for somebody to make it. And yeah, like I said, it's incredibly interesting that at Superman's most dire hour, you have so many people coming out the woodworks with all of their Superman ideas. It's almost like Warner Brothers, being the knee-jerk company that they are, there's a bunch of creatives out there sensing weakness, acting like sharks that smell blood in the waters. I hope Superman is good. I hope that it ends up steamrolling the rest of that flaccid competition in July. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I would be more than happy to be surprised. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.